Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Happy New Year. I think this is the first video for the year. And this night, we are talking compliance as usual. Today, you will know that the topic of our discussion is the filing of returns. And many SMEs thinks compliance is just about paying taxes. No, but compliance is about filing returns and filing them on time. That means if you even when you pay your taxes, if you don't file return, compliance you are not compliance with the law. Paying taxes alone does not give you the the fact is not sorry paying of taxes does not mean you have been compliant. After paying, you have to file your returns. So tonight I'll be focusing on employees annual return, but I will also show you how it connects to CAC filing and other statutory returns every SMEs in Nigeria must file, because one misfiling can trigger multiple compliance problem. um if you have questions, you can put them in the comment sections and we'll deal with it as we continue. So we'll be talking now about the employees annual returns. Employers annual returns. That is what we'll be talking about. Employers annual return is where you formally declare your employees, their earning, the pay deducted, the tax remitted for the year. And remember, the deadline for the filing is the 31st of January. That means we have less than 2 weeks to that now to do that if you are if you are an SME owners. Particularly, it is even all business because but for now we are focusing on SMEs in our discussion. So 31st of December, I said 31st of January, sorry, you file your returns. Now, now here is where many SMEs get it wrong. Filing does not exist in isolation. Government agencies now share data, as you can see. Even with this tax reform, one of the main reason for the tax reform is synergy between government agencies. What you file or don't file in one place affects everywhere else. That means that if you don't file, maybe you are supposed to file your returns now and you want to get a contract from maybe a federal government agency, or you are submitting for a bidding, they would ask for these are the documents they will ask for. So there is this compliance web among them: your payroll, your personal tax record, your employees return, and there is always auditing. They can also audit you. When it comes to even auditing, they can ask for your CAC to check the particulars of directors and other regulatory check. That is why compliance today is system based, not manual. So we would encourage you to make your compliance system based, and the era of keeping papers and doing this, because those can easily get lost in the system. So it's always good to make your compliance system based. Now I'll talk about the Corporate Affairs Commission. We have because it's part of the compliance too. If you have a business in Nigeria, every registered business must register for must file for CAC annual returns. And I will tell you that CAC annual returns is different from uh, the one you file with the tax authority. Whether you make profit or not, whether you are active or dormant, you have to file your CAC annual returns. It shows that you are still in operation, and your business will not be marked as inactive on the CAC website. So it's better, and there are some other key filings too with the CAC aside the annual return. If you change your director, maybe you get new partners, you should file with the Corporate Affairs Commission the change of directors form to inform them that you have changed directors. Also, we have the shareholding. If there's a change in your shareholding, maybe you sell part of your shares, you still have to file with the CAC to tell them that you've changed, there is a change in your shareholding status. If you have a, also if there is a change of registered address, you still have to file. You can see that when we talk of compliance, it's about filing and keeping record, keeping your record up to date. If there is a change of address, by the time you are registered, maybe businesses move, you can move, maybe expand, and you move your head office to another place, you still need to file your CAC, your CAC change of registered address with the CAC. And I must warn you that failure to file CAC return can result into penalties. It's I think it's penalties when it comes to non-compliance. So inability to access loan or grant, those are the things. If you, like I said, if you want to get a loan, the first place investors will go to is to search the CAC website to see if you are actually active. And if all these things, and if you are giving them one document and they are going there to search their own and they are seeing another thing, so it's better you keep your record very straight with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Also, you can also CAC now delist companies that are inactive. So make sure you file your CAC annual return and other necessary returns that you think it's necessary for your business to thrive. Other statutory returns that SMEs must file, you have with the tax authority. You have for businesses that are limited liabilities, you file your annual returns with the Federal Inland, now the Nigerian Revenue Service, sorry, they are now have it as the Nigerian Revenue Service. So you file your returns. That is, if you're, for example, if you have a business that is your accounting year is January to December, latest by June 2026 you should file with latest, because by the time you don't file within that time, Nigerian Revenue Service penalties is on monthly basis, and it can accumulate to millions if you are not careful. And it won't go well for you to start running about and begging, and you understand, making yourself a ridicule in front of tax authority. Why not do the right thing now and ensure that everything is um is done properly? I'll pause here, and again, if you have any question that you want us to discuss, any clarification, please put it in the comment section, and I would answer it. We have the state internal revenue too. Like I said, I think it's now January is the era of filing your payee annual returns with the state internal revenue service. So we have the, aside from the annual returns, we even have the monthly returns too. When you pay, after when you pay your staff salary, you have to deduct their taxes on a monthly basis and file it with the state internal revenue service of your state, of the state of residence of the staff in particular. For example, if you have a staff that, if your office is in Lagos State and a staff travels from Ogun State every morning to come to your office, and he lives in Ogun State, taxes are filed at the state of residence of that staff, not where your office is. So any of your staff that resides in Ogun State, you should endeavour to pay their tax to their state of residence. We have the VAT for SMEs that are within the boundaries of the value added tax, where if it's applicable to you, you have to register for VAT and file your monthly returns also for the value added tax. We have the withholding tax return to, which is monthly. You file for companies with the Nigerian Revenue Service, and if it's individual that is the contractor or your supplier, you file their returns with the state internal revenue of your office resident. That is how it works. Like I've discussed the company's income tax and earlier. So compliance is it's a web, but if you miss it in one place, it's going to affect you in another place. So it's better you keep your record. And like I said, these are the things that you can automate on your system so that it pop-ups as you need them. And again, for there are other filings too that SMEs need to do. If you pension remittance for your staff, you have to, if you pay pension, you have to file your, after you deduct your 8% from the staff salary, 10% from the employer, file it with the Nigerian Pension Commission, and the way it is done. We have the, if there is an issue of employees compensation, the fact that you pay your employees the compensation, you are paying your employees off, or there's a issue of shareholding payment within. These are the things you have to file, because you can't say you are giving your employees shares and you are not filing with the tax authority. These are very, very, very important. Again, I will talk about filing with the Economic and Financial Commission. That's the special unit for anti-money laundering. There are some businesses that are designated as non-financial institution, and if you get money from that is beyond the threshold of what you are supposed to get according to what SCUMO says, you have to report every month. Even where, if once you are designated as non-financial institution, you should, as a matter of urgency, register with SCUMO and file monthly. In cases where you don't have transactions beyond the threshold that is given, you still need to file a new return, which is very, very important in these circumstances, because a lot of your business revenue, your revenue will end up in paying penalties, and it is not good. It is not good for the business. So we'll just employ you. Compliance is it's something you should take very important, especially in the Nigerian tax reform, in the area of the new tax reform. And because you would not want, the penalties are crazy. Apology for my word. The penalties are high now. So you have to comply. It is better you comply, and than explaining and paying unnecessary fund, eventually eating into your business fund. So for me, compliance is not about how big your business is. It is about whether you have started. You have to start complying. Compliance, that is like, you will see me talk about compliance, compliance, compliance. Compliance is, it's to me, when I see businesses running helter skelter, things that you are supposed to have done, you didn't do it, and you are running. It's always like, what have you been doing? But now this is an opportunity for us to start again. The new tax reform is there. Everything is there. The new tax reform is there, and we have to comply. Just ensure that you get your your system right, so that it won't be as if you are just working, and government is collecting the money. A lot of times we say government is wicked, but in actual fact, we are the one that are not doing the right thing. If you do the right thing, if government officials come and say, where is this, you give it to them. Where is this, you give it to them. I won't like the, even in your compliance status, even if you are compliant, you can make little mistake. Those are the ignorable mistake, but it's not always perfect, but at least let them know that you have something on to give to them. Not that they will ask for this, you say, what does that mean? No, I've seen a lot in my few years of practice. Where is your CAC? Some people don't even know where their CAC documentation. All these things need to be automated. Put them on your cloud, put them in, so that once they request for it, you bring them out. Those are the things. Your filing must be done, and keep your record. Once you file, scan copies into your iCloud, and they detail it very well, so that when you need it, you can recall it from where you put it. I will now talk about the risk of ignoring multiple returns, because for SMEs, like I said, accumulated penalties, accumulated, you can have a lot of penalties, and there's nothing. If you are doing business and you are using your business money to pay penalties, the business may not even last, especially for SMEs. Why don't you put everything in place and avoid unnecessary penalties? E can even expose you to audit. By the time tax official come today, or government officials come and ask you for one document today, another one come, you just say, we don't understand what this person is doing there. Can we call for audit? And when government officials are doing audit, even things you've even forgot that you've done, they will start asking questions. They will start, and in process of audit, you have to dedicate time. When government are doing audit, you have to dedicate time. That is eating into your manpower. So why don't you get everything right in at the first instance, so that it won't be that. We also have the issue of reputational damage. For example, if you want to do business with a company, and they're asking you for documents and you can't present them, they will just no, this business is not ready. They are not ready. This person is not ready for business, because it's always like that. You can There are some individuals, especially when you are sourcing funds internationally. Before they even deal with you, they will go to the CSE website, search you. Once they see your company as inactive, they would even it's even a is a red flag for them. It's a red flag. So why don't you do what you should do on time, instead of when it comes to you now start running a scatter. For founders, you can be personally affected, like I said, because you are the owner of the business. Your employees are not. They are there, but if you don't put them on their toes, if you don't put a check in place to make your compliance top notch, it can affect you, especially when compliance failure are prolonged. So for me, most SMEs don't fail because of tax rates, but fail because of ignoring filing. You can see, like I said, you don't fail because of tax rate. You can be paying your taxes, and you are not filing. Tax authorities will collect your money, but if you are not telling them this is what you are paying for, they may they will just wait for you till the day you come and say actually saw what that you are paying. You're actually paying, but what are you paying for? You and your filings are not showing them. You are not filing to show us what you are paying for. We just note that you are paying, which like I said earlier, this can create a lot of audit for you. They can say, okay, we are coming to audit you to know what you are supposed to do. So please, if you have any, like I said, let your questions keep coming up so that we can deal with it. And again, I would also talk about your the issue of there's another filing that I have not talked about, especially for people that take people's data information. The You have to keep your customer data with very in a very moderate and responsible manner. You can't take data from customers and start using them for personal gain or selling customers data. Those are the things that you can never do under the Nigerian Data Protection Law. You cannot do that now. Those are compliance issues too that you need to deal with. You need to deal, maybe we'll come back one of dis our live session to deal with it accurately, and we'll talk more about it. But I would again, like I said, audit exposure. You can When it comes to when you are not compliant, especially for tax authorities, they make sure that you have they bring audit letters to you. And when they bring audit letters to you, it is always very tedious, because If you have, like for SMEs, if you have 6 staff, I'm just saying, for example, you have 6 staff in your office, at least you will dedicate like 3 staff on an audit. So you can see that for you are for that time they would just be compiling papers, compiling information, compiling everything, because when tax authority come for audit, it is always asking question, provide this for us, provide this, and you have to put your staff on it to make sure that you get. That means manpower is being wasted. Those staff may have other things to do that will generate money, but when government letters come, you have to respect them too. So but if you are keeping, even if they come for audit, if you have all these things on your trail, you've automated your system, once anything they call for, you have it on your system, bring them out, and they know that at least this person is keeping records. So for me, I would advise that your tax return for this year, if you have not filed the returns, is a time. Even if you have a staff, like I always say, even if you have a staff, file your return, what you have paid. If you have paid pension for them, file it. If they have access to benefits in kind, file them. Let the tax authority knows what they have access to, everything, file for them. And make sure that even the staff themselves, now it is now compulsory that the staff themselves too must file their return, though their return is can be predicated on what you file as an employer for them. But these days, you know that most employees too, aside from working, they have other businesses. Some even have inheritance, rent they collect. So all these things, by the time they are filing their own returns, they have to file that in this year, aside from my salary, I got this from my side hustle. I got rent from my father's property that I inherited, or even myself, I have a property. These are the things they will be declaring on their employees annual return, which is different from what their employers has filed. And in cases where they have to pay additional, they would, maybe after, maybe the employers have paid what they earn from their salary, but they have additional income, they would have to pay. The era of keeping record, not keeping your record accurately, it's over. It's over. Keep your record. Encourage your staff to, when there is dispute in their payroll with what you are, they can let them ask questions. Encourage them to ask questions, because if they ask questions, if you explain to them and they understand, by the time they are filing their own too, your record will not be opposing what they are saying. So those things, it's a synergy. Keep your record, let your staff too knows what you are filing for them, and let your staff know what they are entitled to. And when their salary increase, inform the tax authority. So that is how your compliance work should be. Don't make it clumsy. Like I said, automate your system. Automation is very important, because when you need information, when you need to bring out an information, it's easy that way. Even if you get a letter from any government agency, once you receive it, upload it on your cloud. Upload it. You still keep the hard copy, but make sure that you have that copy, so that anywhere you go, you can bring them out. Compliance is about keeping your record, making your record clean. It is not about saying, this one we are not doing it, this one when they come, this one we are not doing, this one we are not doing. It doesn't work that way again. It doesn't work that way. So please, it's time for us to start on a clean note, which is why I think this January, we have till December is still far away. It's still far away. Blah will say that this is January. Start making it a new year resolution to keep your information clean, to put compliance at the front burner of your business. And now government is going to be stricter with your filings. They are going to be stricter. So why not do it? Why not keep your record? If there's any error, maybe from last year that you have not done, quickly put all your records straight. You have till 31st of March to file your tax return, and for the CAC I think it's 31st of March. So why don't you get a consultant, get people to do this. If it's not, if it's not something you can do on your own, get a lawyer, get them to do it for you at the Corporate Affairs Commission. It's always easy that way. And again, I would say for me, I would also be listing action point for you at this. List all the returns applicable to your business. Those are the action point for you. There are some that has more than 4 returns applicable to their business. List everything. Confirm your status, your filing status for last year. Correct gaps before deadline. Don't wait for enforcement. Please, don't wait for enforcement. It's like we are just saying it, we are just talking, but when it comes to, we can say my business is still small, but if your business is small now, it is what you do now that you do when you grow big. Why don't you put the system in place now, and as you grow, the system grows with you. That is how I'm seeing it. And for now, I'm hoping that we would be talking more about this as we go on. And this is going to be a monthly meeting, and I encourage everybody to please join, share the link with your friends, and let's talk compliance. It's always very difficult when it comes to when we are not complying, but once you know what to do, it is easy. Compliance is the easiest thing when you are doing it right. It is easy. So I will pause here because our time is fast spent, and I will just say compliance is not paperwork. It is business protection. I've said it. Employers' annual return is not just a Friday, but it is to open door to full compliance, because once you miss anything in one agency of government, it can affect you everywhere. So why don't you keep all your record, all your compliance, what you need to do. If you are designated as a non-financial institution under SCUMO, keep your record, register with SCUMO, get your certificate, file your monthly return. If you change your directors, take a form, get a lawyer, fill a form of change of directors. Let everything work seamlessly for your business. And it's always good to be compliant. And I will say, at this moment, I think our time is fast spent. I'm not seeing any question, but you can always, even after this section, you can still get in touch with me if you have any question. And I'm going to be answering your question. My DMs are always open. And I will say thank you very much today for joining me. I'm grateful, and I hope to see you next time. This is Tax Gist with Madam Compliance, where we make compliance easy for you. Thank you, and God bless you.